We're down here at the property, beautiful April day, and had to come down to get my fro. So what did you say? I said I had to come down and get my fro. Right here. Okay? If you know what a fro is used for, put it in the comments below. But I did actually have to come down and get that for a project I'm going to be working on, but close the thing there. But wanted to do a little video here, walk and talk down to the property. And old plow truck here inflated the tires because most of them were flat. I tried to start it, it doesn't want to start. So, oh well. But I've been seeing more and more Catholics coming out and doing this whole thing of the whole John Nelson Darby 1830 thing, or some say 1820. And I don't know how this is going to work back in here with the snow. Seems fairly hard, but I might sink down a little bit. So, but anyhow, I saw Candace Owens recently came out and she did a video about, you know, that she's been studying dispensationalism. She's been studying it, and you know, a lot of these people do that, and I've seen this thing down through the years that religious cults, when the people say that they are studying, what they really mean is they're reading books by their own cult against certain movements. See, they don't actually have the time or the bravery or whatever else to actually go to the original sources themselves. And I was actually challenged by a Papist years ago about that very issue, and he said, "You King James only guys," he said, "all you ever do is just repeat others' work. You don't often go to the original source documents to prove anything." And I thought, challenge accepted. And I have a extensive amount of Catholic books in my library. I do. And that's why I talk about Roman Catholicism quite a bit, because I have studied it. I have several catechisms, including the Baltimore Catechism, the different editions that they bring out for children of different ages. I have that. I have the official Catechism of the Catholic Church, Second Vatican Council, that. I have the Canons and Decrees of the Council of Trent, the Church Teaches by Jesuit Fathers of St. Mary's College. I've got the, what is it, Code of Canon Law or something like that. People send me Catholic books. I've got Catholic missals. I've got all sorts of different Catholic books. I like getting that stuff. I like to go through it. I like to read it. And see, I'm firm enough in my convictions and my beliefs that that isn't going to shake me. I have books from Freemasonry. I have books on Mormonism. Jehovah's Witness. I have a Jehovah's Witness Greek interlinear produced by Jesuits, which I've showed in other videos. I've got several editions of the Nestle-Aland text, Hodges and Farstad, the majority text. I've got Textus Receptus. I've got Masoretic Hebrew. Of, you know, all the different things. And I have the Quran, numerous editions of that, and a bunch of other Islamic books. You say, well then, why aren't you making videos against them? Because I haven't studied it. That's why. That's why I don't make a whole lot of videos on Islam, because I'm ignorant. I will freely say that. And I have stuff from non-dispensational people. I've watched their things. And I have a lot of books on dispensationalism. Certainly. I study both sides, because in order for me to be a preacher that tells the truth and has good argumentation, and in order for me to defend what I truly believe in, I read and research both sides, because there's no stronger argument than showing the enemy's resources and saying, right there it is, this is what they believe. So I strive very much to study what I'm going to speak about. And like I said about the thing of Islam, and there's a bunch of other stuff, the Greek Orthodox system, I don't really do a whole lot of videos because I haven't studied it. And I'm not qualified to do videos. But I see a lot of these quote-unquote conservative talking heads, Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens, J.P. Sears. He's not really a conservative talking head, but you know, he's become a Christian, and he's coming out and talking about John Nelson Darby and, you know, all these different people. They'll come out and they'll say it. almost like they're reading off of a script, you know, which I don't believe. I think they're just regurgitating what they've heard from videos and whatever else, or they might read there's some book, C.I. Scofield and His Friends or something, or whatever, some Catholic wrote it. But they don't actually go and research that stuff on their own. And, you know, and then you'll hear a Tucker Carlson type of guy, and he'll say, you know, now I'm no theologian. I just believe, you know, I mean, the rapture thing was created in the 1830s by John Nelson Darby. And the whole dispensationalism thing goes back to the 1830s, John Nelson Darby. I'm not a theologian. Well, then what are you doing talking? And see, here's the ironic part. If you're a Roman Catholic and you want to take down dispensationalism and Christian Zionism, you know, you believe in replacement or fulfillment theology, if you want to do that, you would actually have a stronger argument if you actually study dispensationalism for yourself. Because, see, dispensationalism, and particularly, I'll say, Christian Zionism, dispensationalism goes back to the 1st century, okay? There were people that believed in the millennial kingdom coming. Unlike the Catholic Church, it says there is no coming future millennial kingdom. It's just we're amillennial. The church rules in Christ's stead. Okay, I do understand the stand that Catholicism teaches. But if you want to go with Christian Zionism, the thing of Christians helping Jews get back to their homeland and the Jews returning to the land of Israel and all of that, that didn't start with John Nelson Darby. No. It actually started with Oliver Cromwell in the 17th century. And see, if you want to really get back to the big contention time between the Catholics and the Protestants, well then, that's when you want to go back to. So you would actually have a stronger argument in favor of Roman Catholicism if you would actually just tell the truth and study. That's the problem. It's not that they're not telling the truth per se, it's that they don't study, they don't research. They just read a book and they say, I've been studying dispensationalism lately, meaning Catholic sources attacking dispensationalism. They're not actually studying dispensationalism. And if you say, oh, come on, Brian, you're being unfair. Okay, when have they ever showed anything from John Nelson Darby? When have you ever seen Tucker Carlson or Candace Owens or what's the other guy, Michael Matt from Remnant TV, or any of these people? When have you ever actually showed them holding up John Nelson Darby's work and saying, let me show you, let me prove it to you? They never do. They never do. I remember many years ago talking to a Jehovah's Witness. They came to my door, and the Lord sent them there, you know, for my birthday. It was my birthday, and I got a Jehovah's Witness from the Lord. It was great. I got to witness to them. But I said to them, can I give you some materials? And they said, no, we're not allowed to accept other materials and things. And I said, that's why you're in a cult. Well, I said, see, if you weren't at a cult, I said, I'll take your materials. I want your materials. Give me all the materials you can. I'll take them. I'll refute them from the scriptures. You, on the other hand, are not allowed to do that because your cult leaders are afraid that you're going to find the truth. Same thing with Roman Catholicism. Most Roman Catholics just believe whatever they're taught. They don't actually do the research themselves. Because if a Catholic starts to study the Bible too much, it leads them into heresy. Yeah, you don't want to study the scriptures that God gave to man, you know, outside of the Catholic Church telling you what they believe, which is what Roman Catholicism actually teaches. You saw that with little Nicky Fuentes. You know, we shouldn't have people, you know, reading the Bible on their own and, you know, whatever. So, I would like to challenge you Catholics out there, and Muslims and whatever else, take materials from your enemy. If you are firmly grounded in your belief system, you shouldn't have to worry about it. But if truth is something that you are interested in, absolute truth, then go ahead and read what your enemies believe and teach. So I'm going to be doing a study here in the future showing that actually there's a lot of things that I have preached on that Scofield never wrote about the pre-trib rapture. It's not actually what it's called. It's the time or catching up before the time of Jacob's trouble. But I'm going to show you that there's some things that he taught, or excuse me, things that I've preached and taught that Scofield never had in his study Bible. Well, then how does that work? I guess I'm being paid by the Zionist Rothschilds and whatever else, right? Prove it, please. So, just out here kind of inspecting the property. Had to come for the fro, like I said earlier, and a few other things, but it's a little dangerous right now because there's, I heard that there's a patriot in the woods and he's hunting down redcoats. So I'm gonna have to be careful about that. And, but you never know what you're gonna run into out here in these forests. It's very dangerous. And, so anyhow, that should be it for the video. I just want to challenge people to, you know, study. You really need to study. It's a, oh, great. All right, please don't shoot. Please don't shoot. I'll turn around. He got me. Oh, that's going to be it. Thank you for watching.